It is 6:03. Let's turn to Newport News this morning, where someone found a teenager dead behind a church over the weekend.
And this morning, police are looking for a killer. News Channel 3's Derek Copley has more on the investigation.
Newport News investigators are trying to figure out who shot and killed a 16-year-old boy behind a church this weekend. Officers found 16-year-old Christopher Mullins shot to death just after 8 Sunday morning in the back of the Living Waters Christian Fellowship off Warwick Boulevard. Mullins lived only about a mile away from the church. Right now, it's not clear what led to the deadly shooting.
Police are asking if you have any information about this. Call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP.
In Portsmouth, a man was found shot to death. This happened at the Stone Ridge apartment complex on Hightower Road. Police tell News Channel 3 they heard reports of gunshots around 9:30 Saturday night. When they got to the apartments, they found 21-year-old James Freeman behind a dumpster. He was dead. Again, the crime line number on your screen. For any tips, call 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP.
At 6:04 this morning, we turn to Norfolk, where 3 teenagers were shot just as the Halloween festivities were wrapping up. Happened just after 10 Friday night on Mariner and Riley Streets. Witnesses say someone started shooting. Police say 2 13-year-olds, a girl and a boy, and a 14-year-old boy were shot. Right now, police do not know if the teens were just at the wrong place at the wrong time or if they were targeted. No word this morning on how they're doing. Police are looking for the person who shot the teens. If you know anything that could help, call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP.
New from overnight at 6:04, a man on a bicycle was hit by a car in Portsmouth. News Channel 3 on the scene last night at the corner of High Street and Garland Drive. This was just before midnight. We do not know if the driver who hit the man stopped. Paramedics checked the man out at the scene. He was okay and was able to ride away on his bike.
In Norfolk, police are investigating a fight near the ODU campus that sent 1 student to the hospital. It happened outside this home on Melrose Street. Witnesses told News Channel 3 that a group of males tried to get into a small get-together that students were having at the home. And when they were denied entry, witnesses say one of the suspects picked up a chair, threw it at a window, shattering it. Witnesses told News Channel 3 the victim then confronted the suspects outside, and that's when the suspects attacked the victim and others that tried to help. The suspects left the scene in what police say was a dark minivan. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. If you have any information about this, call the ODU police or the crime line.
This latest incident comes weeks after an ODU student was shot near campus. Jerika Carmichael was shot back in September while walking down Killam Avenue near 42nd Street. She was not seriously hurt. Norfolk police arrested this man, 25-year-old Roy Atkins, a month later. He is one of the men who police say shot the gun that night.
At 6:06 this morning, we turn to Hampton, where a 33-year-old man was arrested by the Hampton SWAT team following a standoff over the weekend. Happened just before 6 yesterday morning on Shields Avenue. Investigators say Jason Wallace Williams was in a fight with someone inside the home and fired a gun. Williams is charged with shooting into an occupied dwelling and 1 count of assault on a family member.
Our time is 6:06. The state agency charged with tracking down deadbeat parents has backed away from its most aggressive tactics.
The state used to plaster deadbeat parents' pictures in the newspapers, but now the state says those parents who aren't paying for their kids deserve compassion and privacy. Here's investigator Mike Mather.
Sometimes we call it internally the softer side of DCSC.
The state agency that tracks down deadbeat parents has backed away from its toughest tactics. It's reluctant to jail deadbeats and it quit publishing the most wanted list of the worst offenders. Why? It was too embarrassing. So jail is not your first option?
No.
And you no longer publish the most wanted list?
Correct.
Has this department gone soft? If you look at Tequila Sanderlin's case, you might think so. After more than a year of prodding, coaxing, counseling, and threatening, she has paid not a single penny. On Friday, the judge lost patience.
Do you think it's fair they put you in jail?
But for every case like hers, there are thousands of others in Virginia who, instead of going to jail, go to job counselors at taxpayer expense. And the once public records of the worst offenders, those who owe the most and who often cost taxpayers the most, are all now secret. Is this softer side too soft? This investigation airs tonight at 5. Mike Mather, News Channel 3.
It is 6:07 this morning. Straight ahead on News Channel 3, a Virginia Beach mom has lost nearly half her body weight. We're going to tell you exactly how she did it.
Looking forward to that story, but first, a chilly update of the weather where you work.
We're at 36 degrees this morning for Naval Weapons Station Yorktown, 37 for Fort Eustis, and Naval Medical Center Portsmouth at 42. That's actually one of our warmest spots this morning. We'll take a look at the chilly temperatures this morning and a nice warm up this week coming up.
And at 6:08 on the roadways, we are dealing with a crash in the HOV lanes near 564, plus the major backups if you're heading to the base, and another accident in Newport News. We'll give you all the details coming up to help you beat the backups on this Monday morning right here on News Channel 3. Stay with us. We'll be right back.